What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video, and in today's video we're going to be continuing our ongoing Soulcalibur 6 coverage by covering one of the first characters that we have talked about here on the channel hands-on. That's right, you guys, we're going to be talking about one of the free characters for this collaboration, which is going to be, as you can see on screen, the Aristocrat Catsuit Ivy. This character is a free-to-play character, and one of, if not the best free-to-play characters we have ever had, and by probably a large margin. It kind of depends on what her other free-to-play character with this collaboration can do. I don't know yet. I haven't gotten her yet. But before we go ahead and get into today's video, make sure if you guys haven't already done so, you smash that like button and subscribe, and let's just go ahead and get into today's topic. So I want to talk about this character because I have had quite a bit of time to sit down and actually play with this character, and most people are going to be able to A5 this character for free. This is a huge deal. This is the first EX character that we have gotten where you're basically going to be able to get a uber tier meta character for free all the way up to A5. It's pretty cool that they have allowed for this with this collaboration. And as I had kind of joked about there in the intro, there is a second free-to-play character for this collaboration that, while you probably are not going to be able to build her anywhere near up to the level you'll be able to build this one up to for free, could end up being on par with this one as well. Again, I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. However, when it comes to this character, I can tell you how I feel about her, and yeah, like I mentioned, she's really good, so let's talk about it. This character, first and foremost, is going to increase Soulcalibur 6 fighters' attack by 40% and decrease their active skill cooldowns by 0.5 seconds for her leadership ability, and is a blue balance type. The leadership ability, as I'd kind of briefly talked about in yesterday's video, I really like the fact that we're starting to get these leadership abilities that decrease our active skill cooldowns. That is really nice. So this right here is something I'm very happy to see for a free character, and overall this leadership ability for kind of a budget player who might be missing some of the better ones out there, really strong. It is not the strongest one for these collaboration characters by any stretch of the imagination, but it's very good. Now, when it comes to the typing, I'm just happy to get another really strong blue type. She has a blue balance, would have preferred blue attack. You get what you get, right? You can't have everything for free, right? So let's take a look at the course. This character has some really unique things that she's doing as far as a free-to-play character is concerned. And by that, what I mean is she has a lot more weapons than most free-to-play characters that we've seen in the past. Now, of course, we've seen strong free-to-play characters, but never before have we had one that we can, again, build up this highly, this easily. So very nice that this happened for this particular one. But let's take a look at it. So first up here, we have Alchemical Researcher. This inflicts 2000% physical damage when attacking an enemy affected by darkness. So this character is dealing in darkness, and I don't think I need to really stretch and think about this too much when I say that this is probably the best darkness wielder in the game right now. So yeah, take that for what you will. 100% chance to increase critical damage to all teammates, including self, by 20% for 12 seconds when using an active skill. Additionally, increases Soulcalibur 6 fighters' critical damage by 20%. So this character, on top of being able to output absurd amounts of damage, which you'll be able to see in the gameplay footage, she's also going to be able to play a bit of a support role here as well with some of these effects, which is really nice also. This is a character that kind of can do almost everything. So it's really nice to see that she has this in here as well. Again, guys, they really loaded up this free-to-play character, and I highly recommend that you guys try to get her built up as quick as possible. These memories are not hard to come by. They just require you to sit down and really just kind of grind at them or work for them, and you can have this character built up pretty quickly on your account. Now, on nobility, she is immune to freeze, poison, and starlight, so those are some pretty nice immunities. She recovers 5% HP when attacked while at 70% HP or less, and affected by stun, petrify, or fear. So she does have a little bit of a heal. I will say this character at lower awakening levels is a bit squishy. Things like, I tried to test her in the Wary Colossal. She did really good damage, like really good damage there. It was crazy how much damage she was outputting against the Wary Colossal. Problem is, she is a little bit squishy, so she's not necessarily going to be the easiest character to just like go in there and solo with. which you're not normally going to do anyway. You're really just going to be doing that to test a character, but that is something worth noting, that in certain areas she can be a little squishy. That's a nitpick, And really, again, you're going to be able to build this character up more than likely to at least A4, maybe A5. So with that said, that squishiness is going to alleviate itself quite a bit there, right? So keep that in mind as well. Now, other things here, she does have that Soulcalibur 6 core that gives her a little bit of HP recovery when in guard stance. This is really nice, again, because it's just when you're attacked in guard stance, so you don't have to sit there and charge it up or anything like that. That's really nice. And it increases attack by 5% upon landing a basic attack and stacks up to 10. So this character, so far, so good. Cores are really nice. But let's talk about her EX cores real fast before we move to the skills, because I want to point out that this character does boast extreme focus. This is a huge deal for this character. This right here, once you get this character fully built up and maxed out, that's why I'm really stressing you guys, try to do so. Once you get this character is going to be able to decrease Raging Gnome EX and Mistress Justice EX skill cooldowns by 95% for 3.5 seconds upon using it. Basically, you can just spam those for 3 seconds. And there is a big reason why I'm pointing that out right now before we get into the skills, because these skills are really important to this kit. So let's talk about those skills. Take a look here. Needless to say, that's going to be the one you're going to want when you A5, just saying. So this character has Creeping Ivy EX on the S1. This is used to increase attack by 250% for 10 seconds and deals darkness damage equal to 350% of attack to all enemies every 0.3 seconds for 12 seconds. I had mentioned that I felt like this is the best darkness wielder in the game, and this is part of the reason why. This is a very long duration. It is a lot of damage. This character outputs tons and tons of damage. It's a pure damage dealer. That is what this character is. So when you see something like this, especially for a free-to-play character, you're very happy to see it, especially considering we don't see a lot of these basic dots anymore. And by basic dots, I mean just kind of your traditional burn, darkness, starlight, that sort of thing. They're kind of making a comeback with this collaboration, and I'm really happy to see that. So that is going to be the S1. Now, let's take a look at Raging Gnome and Mistress Justice EX. Keep in mind, again, guys, I had mentioned those for a reason with that EX core. Now, this can be used while being attacked, but only while standing. So that is one thing to keep in mind. It's a little bit limited. You increase your critical rate by 40% for 8 seconds upon landing a skill, and increase your target's damage received by 20% for 10 seconds upon landing a skill, right? So that is going to be what you're doing on the S2. So next up here on the S3, we have a chain skill, a derive skill. This is also an interrupt while standing or airborne, so you get an airborne interrupt there, whereas the S2, if you remember, was only going to be while standing, so it gives you a little bit more flexibility there. You get your hyper armor there, so for 4 seconds you get your hyper armor with your interrupt, as per tradition. And you increase Raging Gnome EX skill damage by 600% for 5 seconds upon landing a skill. So when I said to you guys that EX core skill was the one that I would pick for her, when you consider the fact that you can sit there and spam these, lots of damage, guys, tons and tons of damage. But there is more. This character also deals physical damage equal to 550% of attack every 0.1 seconds for 1.5 seconds upon landing a skill. So I am not the biggest fan of derived skills in general. I think they're a little clunky. They can feel a little sticky when you're on your awakening spam and things like that, maybe slow it down just a tad. But with that being said, it's a small nitpick. It might even just be my personal opinion on that. I know some people have issues with that. I'm not necessarily as big of a fan of them as just basic skills, but what I will tell you guys is this character feels really good when you're using her. There really doesn't seem to be much clunkiness. There's a little stickiness. I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that on her awakening spam there isn't a little bit of that because of this, but what you're getting out of these is so strong. And this character's so busted as it is, it really doesn't make that big of a difference. I mean, once you get to a certain echelon and you're that busted, nitpicks and things like that really aren't that big of a deal. We'll just put it that way. So that is going to be the skills. Again, guys, this character, tons and tons of damage. Now, we do need to mention, though, on her core finisher, she's going to have what is becoming kind of a tradition with some of these core finishers now, an interrupt. And this is an interrupt while standing, airborne, or knockdown. So this finisher right here, you can pretty much throw out there as a save anytime you want. Super strong. And anytime you see this on these new characters, you know that that is going to be something that's going to be very useful. You have a 90% chance to reset your active skill cooldowns upon using this as well on a cooldown of 10 seconds, so you can pretty much just do it again because you're going to have your skills back. It's 90% chance. 90% of the time you're going to have them, right? 90% chance to reset your finisher skill cooldown upon using this as well. So that's why I say, basically all you got to do is throw this out there, get your skills back, throw those out there, get your core finisher back again, and you can do it again. Or once we finally get her 3PG finisher for her, then you can just do that. So this character has a ton of tools, tons and tons of tools, and is only going to get better as we go into this collaboration. So with that being said, you guys, right now, as I mentioned, we don't really have a good way or a way of getting her finisher. So as you guys can see, this is going to be a very, very, very budget build. This is like just scraping together stuff, right? And so when you guys see this footage, keep in mind how much room for growth this character has. This character doesn't have the ability to stall with a 3PG finisher right now. This character does not have the best cards in her slots yet. This character doesn't even have a full loadout on her stones. And this character is already able to do these things. Plus, on top of that, that EX skill, and at A7, this character is going to be ridiculous. Absolutely busted. This character is already as busted as almost everything that we've had outside of Haohmaru and Nakaruru recently at A3. So this character is going to be here to stay and is really definitely going to be worth you going in and grinding. I know that it sucks that you have to play 10 matches or win 10 matches in Dream Match for one of the memories. I know some people don't like that. I didn't like it or love it either, but at the same time I still did it and I had some fun with it. So it is what it is. It's just up to your preference at that point. But again, guys, it's worth the grind. This character is so good. And again, there is only room to improve in here. This right here is junk basically for this character, and she's still able to do what she's doing. This right here is just a placeholder HP stone. Again, huge room for improvement there. And again, at A3 and without that EX skill, super good. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to get into the footage. I'm going to let you guys see this, but one other thing that I want to make sure that I mention here, this character, if you're struggling with boss challenge, is one of the best characters for it right now. So if you don't have things like Devil Jin, make sure that you build this character up. She will improve your abilities there. She's even really good for the team relay. So in general, this character does so much for your account right now. You have to try and focus her. In fact, I would say that if you're just jumping into the Soulcalibur 6 collaboration right now, that what I would focus on is getting her built up first. Like, get her built up, that way you can do things like the tower, you can make boss challenge, team relay easier, that sort of thing. Unless you're a veteran and you already have the aforementioned characters and a proper roster to be able to just plow through everything else. But this character is so money right now. You want to make sure that you pick her up. And I'm really excited to see what ends up happening now with the Banner Ivy, if this one's as good as it is. So that's pretty much going to do it, guys. I'm going to let you enjoy the footage. Again, I do have some footage in here. You guys know how I like to do these videos. We just talk about the character for a little bit, and then we get into the footage of the actual character in action. There's my fame there, so you guys can see it. I have been holding off on building it up for a while, like a long while. So it's kind of just been stagnant. So it is what it is. But anyway, you guys, that is going to do it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm dealing with like Antarctic weather outside right now, as most of you probably are. So if you are in the US and affected by this winter storm, which most of us are at this point, please be safe out there today. Anyway, you guys, that's just my opinion on this character. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. Like, share, and subscribe on your way out. And until the next one, you all take care. Peace.
continue.